heard about Sally Choi, the art director of Obsession, revealed this week she only earned $6,741.36 after taxes for her work on the film. She had agreed to a day rate of $300 at the time. She was living paycheck to paycheck, as most of us are in this industry. And then that film grossed $200 million globally, became Focus Features' highest grossing film of all time. So she was actually one of the better paid crew because a lot of the crew only got gas money and reimbursement on their mileage. And so now she's asking for some sort of reform in the industry when it comes to back-end compensation for crew members, especially when it's a surprise hit. And the reaction to this has been divided because some are like, look, you agreed to your rate and there's no way to predetermine how well an indie film's going to do. But I mean, this film also earned 250 times its budget. I mean, should there be some sort of bonus provided for the crew in situations like this, like a film surprise hit bonus structure that they put in?
I want to take a little bit of a moment here and just kind of slow this idea down, right? Because there's a couple of things in play. There's a principle, and then there's the logistics, and there's the practical, so to speak. So in the practical, are you entitled to more money because the thing was a success? No, absolutely not. The creators took their time, invested their energy, their efforts, their ideas, their sweat, their tears, their relationships, all this shit to do a thing. The investors came in, they looked at that and said, hey, we'll take a chance on this. They rolled the dice and they won, right? Michael B. Jordan wins an Oscar for Sinners. Because you were in hair and makeup, you don't get one too, right? Maybe they should give you a button or a pen. That's the practical, cruel part of it. No, you're not entitled to any of this. However, it can be done. Right. Apparently Zendaya was behind a profit sharing plan on Malcolm and Marie. Costco does it. Right. And they go, well, Costco ain't the movies. Well, movie studios and Costco do the same thing. They have a product and they move the product with the help and the expertise of their crew or their staff or their employees. And then when the product does well, if they count these people in onto the profit sharing, they can get a serious bump. So if you're, what's her name, Sally Choi, right? If this made $250 million and at the end of it, they gave her 15 grand of the 250 million, if they took 1 million and said, let's just give each one of the crew members 15 grand, that ain't even fucking 1%. However, that would buy them loyalty, right? That would make these people want to come back and work with them. They would speak well of them. We wouldn't be doing this news program right now about how shitty these people are for keeping all the money when they could have shared some of it, right? Adam Sandler gave his co-stars in Grown Ups Maseratis. He didn't give them Maseratis because they couldn't afford it or because they needed one. He gave them Maseratis so they would come back and do Grown Ups 3, because Maseratis are nothing compared to the amount of money that he makes off the fucking Grown Ups franchise. He's buying loyalty, right? He's buying dedication, right? And he's buying goodwill and good spirit. I think they could have done that, not retroactively necessarily. It's not impossible, but it ain't the wrong thing to do, even if it ain't necessary.
No, it's not. When you look at Zendaya, in the back end equity, they got like 1 point for the cast and crew, the Malcolm and Marie. And so when it's sold to Netflix for $30 million, some of the crew members that with the points, they got bonus payouts, some earning up to $300,000, which is like life changing. And when you think about the industry right now, a lot of people aren't working. So you are accepting daily rates that are way lower than your standard, even though you are a level of professionalism that should guarantee you a higher rate. You're looking at an indie film. This is a horror film. The budget is very low. I think this budget was lower than $1 million for this film. And so or maybe it was about 700,000. Let me not misquote. Something like that.
750 is the number I saw.
750. Okay. So then it's like, all right, you're trying to get everyone at a discount. You have half your crew that are working for free, essentially off the love of it, because they probably don't have any work. So they're looking at this as maybe this will beget something else, right? And so you're getting probably a high quality level of crew for a fraction of the cost, for non-union costs. And then you end up making 250 times the budget. To me, what is giving them a point, or what is giving them a little check at this point? I agree with her. I don't like that everyone's like arguing her down. Well, you agreed to that day rate and that's what it is. I can understand having the sour taste in your mouth, knowing that you showed up every day and all you got was some gas money. And she was paid better than most of the other crew that were there. So,
well, look, I mean, the tough part is, and I appreciate that, and I think that that's not a wrong way to feel. And unfortunately, also when you are making these decisions about the things that you want to work on. Sometimes you have to make the difficult choice of going, I love your project, but I can't afford to do it for what you're trying to pay me. And worse, if the shit works, I'm gonna be mad. So I'm gonna go do something else.
If she had said no, but that's the thing. If there was nothing else, like I'm sure she took that day rate because there's nothing else coming in. Most of the people I know that work in crew in every department right now are waiting by the phone. Okay, yeah. Whether that's in LA and Atlanta, they're waiting by the phone for something, and anything that comes in, they're going to be happy to take, and they're going to take it for less. And like, we're working on a short film right now. Half the crew that we've been able to acquire has been working on major network shows, and the reason why they're coming on to do a short film right now is because they're in between gigs, and you're able to get them to do a low budget a short film, where if they were on a gig, you would not be able to get them to do your film at all.
What I don't like is when the industry is disingenuous about what they cannot do, right? When you go into any negotiation, everything is on the table. Now, you may or may not have the leverage to require that you be treated in a specific way. Maybe you're not Lynn Whitfield and can't go in there and say, I ain't playing nobody broke, and they still want you, right? But if you can, then, that's what you do. Even if you're dealing with small, indie, budget, whatever, it may be time for crew members and not unionized, just individuals going, listen, I'm this person. I bring this level of skill, expertise. I'm going to make your product better. I'm actually protecting your investment. And so because I'm protecting your investment, I should get a return on that beyond the day rate that I'm doing to do whatever the kind of work is. And 0.5%, 1%, a tenth of a percent, whatever that is. And they negotiate payouts also. When you make points on the back end, they describe where the money is coming from. After we pay for marketing, after we pay for these costs, after we pay for insurance, after we pay for this, after we pay for healthcare, after we pay for that, if we got $10 million left, out of that money, 10% of that will be split up amongst crew members at 0.0 blah, blah, blah percent. So I'm saying the math is possible. It can be done. Big businesses do it all the time. It's in all the negotiations. They may not want to do it, but they can.
They can, and that's the point. So hopefully they do get their little bonus. We'll see. We'll have to keep an eye out for that.